Shields up, Iron Breakers. Rurikhan here coming at you with another video, and today I wanted to bring you guys some Dragon's Crown Pro gameplay. Now, you might have seen the previous video where I talked about Dragon's Crown. You guys will no doubt have noticed that this is a game that is very near and dear to my heart, and as such, I wanted to bring you more gameplay, not just because I want you to have a better idea of what the game is going to play like on the PlayStation 4, because, as you guys know, this is essentially the same game that came out on the PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 3. So the biggest upgrade is one of a visual nature, but to me, to be completely honest, it's more about the convenience factor. The simple fact that I can actually play this on the PlayStation 4 is the biggest thing, because I don't want to have to bring out my PlayStation 3 or my PlayStation Vita. Like, those consoles, I'm sorry to say, at this point in time are actually gathering dust, you know? So having the convenience of having it on the PlayStation 4 is the biggest selling point for me. Does not mean that it has to be for you. So today, I wanted to bring you this gameplay. It is of the Dwarf character, because on the previous video, I showed you guys a little bit of the fighter and on the starter zones. But this time around, we're going to be showing the Dwarf, and you will see that a lot of the things that I do whenever I'm not too busy clicking the runes on the walls and stuff, because I didn't remind myself of a lot. I didn't really remember a lot of the rune combinations, so you'll see me struggle a little bit with that. But whenever I'm not doing that, you will notice that one of the things that I enjoy doing with the Dwarf a lot is picking up stuff and throwing stuff against enemies. Now, when I say stuff, I mean boulders, barrels, other enemies, anything goes. And that, I just really like that particular gameplay, and that's kind of how I built my Dwarf. Now, you can build Dwarves in different ways. You can actually focus more on melee attacks if you want to. You can focus more on your ultimate attack, even though I did focus quite a bit on the ultimate attack as well. But what I'm saying is that there are different play styles that you can have with these characters. My personal play style, I went with the throwing stuff, because I just find it super satisfying to be able to pick up a big-ass orc and then toss them against the other orcs and just have a massive AoE explosion takes place. That is completely up my alley. But that's not the only reason I wanted to bring you this gameplay. So this is actually gameplay that takes place after you finish the game. Now, there's not going to be any spoilers, at least I don't think that this could be considered spoilers, but essentially the gameplay kind of shifts midway through your first playthrough. So what's going to happen is when you start playing this game, and again, not really spoilers, when you start playing this game, you're going to go through the starter levels of the game in a certain order, and you will see a certain set of enemies while you go through the game in that particular starting sequence. Once you go through that starting sequence, then the game just has you like scouring the world in search of these particular gems. I don't remember if they're called gems or crowns, whatever the hell they call them. But you're supposed to find these precious stones somewhere, and the game just kind of sends you out on a quest to find them all. And when you get to that point in the game just kind of sends you to random levels. So you don't actually get to pick which level you go into. You're just going to go into a random level, and they're also going to change the enemies that show up on that level from the enemies that you saw the first time around. So it gives you a little bit of a randomness elements while you are going on this quest to find all of the orbs. And as you collect these orbs, you will also get more randomized loot that you will then min-max on your character. Speaking of which, the only reason why I die so many times in this gameplay is because my character is not properly min-maxed, because I'm a little bit rusty and I just wanted to record some gameplay to bring to you guys, so I didn't really take the time to fully min-max and fully min-max my party members as well, because they're all going to die when we get to the final boss, which is going to be a little bit of a pain, because I'm going to be left to deal with that particular boss solo, which is going to cost me quite a bit of gold, because whenever you die in the game, you have to pay gold in order to come back, and you know. But ultimately, it was still a lot of fun. It's always fun to me to play this, and that's why I wanted to kind of share it with you guys as well. But ultimately, what this means is that the gameplay that you guys are watching is of the post-game stuff after you finish the game the very first time. However, the game does have like the objective of finishing the game at least 3 times, I think, which I never really completed. I do intend on playing it a little bit more. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to complete the game fully 3 times, because that does involve quite a bit of time. And even after that, I believe there's still like another end game once you finish the game 3 times. So there's plenty of content here if you guys are curious. And I just wanted you to be able to actually see a full playthrough of a level close to the end game. Now, an important thing to mention is that this full playthrough of this level, like in order for you to get better rewards and get gems and get more experience and all that stuff, what you would want to do is you would want to not go to town in between doing these levels. You would want to do the level, and then just like continue on to another randomly generated level, and you would get stacking bonuses. You would earn more points, more gold, more loot. I think it actually improves the quality of your loot as well in between runs. You would also be collecting all of the orbs and stuff. So basically the game kind of incentivizes you to build a whole bunch of loadouts because your gear is going to get damaged in between runs. So your ideal scenario here is you go through a run. If your gear's still good, you go for another run, and then you just keep on going for as long as you can or while your gear can last. Now the problem is if you fail at any point, you basically don't get anything. You have to actually finish all of the levels and then go back to town, because otherwise you get no reward. So it's a little bit of a risk-reward situation that you got going once you get to this particular part of the game, but it is so much worth it. Now I'm just going to let you guys enjoy the rest of this gameplay right here. So enjoy it. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comment section below. As per usual, remember, if you enjoyed this content, consider subscribing, and if you want to, also click the bell icon so that you actually get notified of the videos, because nowadays subscription doesn't really mean all that much. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.
They're here.
Let's see. Outstanding.
A particular bouquet stands out amongst the aromas of the sewers. It is the unmistakable odor of a large beast. After defeating the Minotaur, you move through the sewer's filth. You don't feel well, but you are able to exit the fortress while circumventing the fierce battle.